So we are out here with Dane Lion right here. So you can check him out. And Rock Club Foundation, thank you for coming.
There is another campsite where I think like some groups are doing. There's like how it has to do with the police.
And they just got done with the talk. I missed it. It was a little bit late. So this is this.
Paloma?
Paloma.
Paloma.
Yeah, we've
Paloma
heard that
Row.
one
It's like
too.
a mile mark from one
Mimosa.
Mimosa. I'm also looking for what you're describing.
Right. Yeah, where's the feral folk at? I guess we are them.
So you do a lot of herbalists and stuff and
Obelisk?
herbs and stuff.
Herbs, yeah. Yep.
Before you get into that, so if we send you our email,
Mhm.
then just kind of let us know
Yeah.
where you're gonna go.
Yeah, and maybe like in an hour, we're gonna drive out of here, and maybe what time is it now? Okay, so it's almost
Wait,
2.
no. Almost
What did you want?
All right, so basically, our smartest and best among us, the park system and all the professionals there, they import these plants for some solution, and then they get out of hand, and we all stare at it, and then it becomes a problem. And so I think the solution then would be start removing the problem by creating a product. That's the good old American way, right? So we could have local, and actually, you see it in the store. If you go to a health food store and you look in the seaweed section, often there's this little stupid 4-ounce pack for like 16 bucks called KUZU. That's friggin' kudzu root. But guess what? It's from China. We're importing the damn plant that is taking over the South. Every single time you see that, you should think, who? Right? And what about all the American jobs and localization and like put that stuff, put the money where the mouth is. And imagine a kid going to college, having a little summer job, harvesting kudzu, getting side effects include getting a suntan, happiness with others, playing with plants, saving nature, and a product. And so what we've been looking into is laws of the commons, right? And the idea, can we have collective processing stations, right, where people could then bring kudzu root and then grind it together and have fun instead of have some shitty job making widgets, Like, I don't want to go back to 1930. I don't know where everybody's at with that, but working in a factory making a widget, I'm pretty sure that's what y'all rebelled against. That's what the baby boomers rebelled against. So the whole thing was about unionizing to get out of that kind of slave labor mentality, So how could we then make jobs look like having fun outdoors in a canoe, removing this plant and getting to jump in the water at any time?
Yeah, what kind of job could that be?
That could be the removal of another plant, which is called water chestnut. And these corporations are spraying poison, right? So you may have heard in upstate New York, 2 dogs died. They blamed the algae. Algae is a bioaccumulator.
Yes, they did.
They sprayed pesticides, aquaticides in the lake on water chestnut, which has an edible nut, is totally compost. You could have green manure from that thing. You could have a whole fertilizer company out of removing it. All you need to do is play in a hammock and grab it. It's really fun. You get wet. It's totally fun. You can get whatever $8 to $16
Why
an
don't you
hour.
talk to Bill Gates and have him fund it?
Because I think his agenda is not for that. Personally, and if you have his phone number, I'd be happy. He's like, hey Bill, it's Dan. You know kudzu? Stop screwing around, bro. Yeah.
We're down by the
We're
river.
down by the river.
Sustainable energy, so it seems like that would be
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really hyper focused on non-localized efforts of vaccinating people in other countries. Seems to be his big thing, but I'm open. But I think it's you and 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 you who are going to be this grassroots movement. I don't think the people upstairs care about us, quite frankly. They don't care about humans, they care about statistics. And does Bill Gates has a lot of money. And so we'll see. I'll write him an email.
He's not on our team.
I'll Facebook. I don't think that personally.
Do you have a specific tincture that actually helps Lyme disease?
I mean, there's a lot of aspects to Lyme disease. There's a lot. So what you want to think about real quick is you're getting a cytokine storm. That's your immune system kicking online trying to kill a microbe. You have to mitigate that process, otherwise you'll get autoimmunity. This is why in Lyme people get meat allergies, wheat allergies, those kind of things, because the body ends up attacking itself because it's always on overdrive, right? Lyme is a multifactorial phenomenon. meaning birthday cake when you're young, and soda when you're young, and killing the gut microbes, and all of those things lead up to a weakened immune system so that when you get a tick bite, it takes hold, right? So what do you need? You need to reduce your active inflammation, so that's a number one factor. You need to kill the spirochete, so that's a bacteria, right? So something for that. What else do you need to do? You need to calm your immune system, right? And so immunomodulators, right? So medicinal mushrooms, for example, I've had the woods, reishi, are going to help with that aspect, right? I have a lymphatic herb, right? A lymph love blend. That's also helpful. So it's not like there is no one size fits all. There's addressing what's going on in your body. So with Lyme, there are several factors. And so multiple things over a longer period of time is what's going to help. Not a miracle cure. There's no magic bullet. But I've gotten 40 or 50 deer tick bites and I feel really good. The first time I took antibiotics and then I got super into, Lyme herbalism, and now that's kind of my specialty, is dealing with Lyme disease. So something for the liver and lymph, something for the immune system, something to reduce inflammation, and something to kill the spirochetes. Those are 4 aspects. And so I don't have a Lyme blend currently, but I have many things which would be helpful for them, including immunomodulating mushrooms. So does anyone here have autoimmune or inflammation? Inflammation, does anyone feel pain in their body? Pain? Yeah, so a lot of that is, there's lead in the air and heavy metals in the atmosphere. That's never happened before. And so the lymph system is accumulating these toxins.
Intense stress
Where
over
is this
Intense
an
stress.
extended
Where's
period of
what
time.
Where
would do
is
that.
the heavy metals in the air?
In the entire atmosphere.
Of
Planes going
of the
overhead.
U.S., the world?
The soil has anyone heard of a Superfund site?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like,
The first gallon of gasoline ever made in America lead was included in it. The first gallon that they sold, they knew the lead was poisonous.
Mhm. Yeah, you see the same story.
But the government said it's for the greater good. It doesn't matter that
Yeah, we
they're gonna have trouble with it. And then 70 some years later, they said, that's not good.
right,
Let's
and
take it out."
unleaded becomes like, oh, now it's
Yeah.
healthy, right? Just like the word natural. So
Natural gas.
that's called greenwashing, and so we have a tremendous amount to undo. And mostly, it's just the more that you can see the ingredients include things you can actually pronounce, the better, right? Preservatives are designed. Preservatives have side effects, but they're designed to actually make the food have more shelf stability, which is your red flag. A zucchini should not last 6 months. It
Like
should rot.
pumpkin should not last 10 months.
Yeah. So food is something that you can grow on the ground, and you could also wild harvest it. So that's really an aspect, I think, of rubber tramping and living off the land is, you're always camping in somewhere where there's something to harvest, something to put in your tea. And if you just get that little exposure even, that's going to help your immune system in the long run. And so building immunity is really the key. Not boosting the immune system, which is the hype thing. An overactive immune system is autoimmune disease. That's psoriasis. That's your boosted immune system. So the idea that everybody needs more echinacea all the time, echinacea boosts your immune system, and it's not meant for a daily tonic. It's a completely different thing. So there's something called immunomodulating, which means balances your immune system, and then your body won't attack itself as much. The best for those are medicinal mushrooms, reishi, chaga, all of those kinds of aspects. These are Steger mucklucks. They are made in America. They're made from moose hide, and I believe they are a tribe-owned company. The problem is the gum sole falls apart. So, pros and cons. Product review.
What was the immune balancing supplement?
Immunomodulators. I wouldn't consider them as a supplement, but that's technical, and I won't go into that rant. But medicinal mushrooms, including reishi, chaga, turkey tail. Can anyone else name hen of the woods?
What do they
It's
spell these things?
Reishi, R-E-I-S-H-I.
What does it look like?
birch polypore,
Oh, that's one.
for example. This shelf here is Ganoderma applanatum, another kind of reishi. We've got dried mushrooms everywhere. This is another Ganoderma applanatum. Oh, here's chaga. And now I'll pretend I can juggle. No, I'm just kidding. I can't juggle. Shit, see? That's about my juggling skills right there. So here is birch polypore, Piptoporus betulinus. This is immunomodulating, really helpful. Otzi the Iceman, if anybody's familiar, 3000 BC. They dug him out. Well, actually, since the ice caps are melting, we found this guy up there, and he was dead for a really long time. And he actually had a beaded necklace of this mushroom that he was swallowing, right, or you can put in tea. So he carved beads out of it. This is Ganoderma tsuge, after the hemlock tree, which is Tsuga canadensis. This is also called the varnish shelf. This one is immunomodulating and basically like our local reishi, well, northeastern reishi mushroom, wherever you're going to find hemlock.
he was taking it already, just put it on.
Yeah, like maybe if he had, they suspect, right, anthropologists who don't have a lot of herbal information suspect that it was anti-parasitic. So if he was eating, you know, because the assumption is they're just like eating dead things that have sat there for a really long time, which is probably not as true. But so just basically for stomach infections, but it has immunomodulating and tonifying properties. So they just isolate it down to one thing. Maybe the guy had parasites, so he's taking it for parasites.
Let's see that third one.
Yes.
And he had some, they looked at his digestive tract and they found it.
Oh, tons of herbs, tons of medicinal things. Wow. I mean, all pre-Roman culture lived in grass skirts and teepees, harvested mushrooms, did sweat lodges, and lived indigenously. You know, that's our ancestry too. We have been working with plants. The impulse was to go outside and harvest, shelter, food, medicine, water, right? That was all we did every single day. We played nature. You know, you had your clippers, your pruners, your digging stick, and that's pretty much what we did all day. And the goal was to increase food and medicine, right? That was always the goal. Plant the trees, plant the seeds.
What area did you find these?
This in New Jersey, this in New York, but you can find these wherever there's white birch. You have to know trees for mushrooms. These are polypore mushrooms. And so a lot of people say, oh, none of them will make you sick. No, none of them will kill you necessarily, but some of them can make you sick, right? This is a polypore mushroom, meaning multiple pores, both of these on the underside instead of gills, and these all hang up on trees, and they're actually nature telephones. You can get your guidance like, oh, look, double time, call it out. And this is chaga, which also grows on, you know, several birch species, and this is a real popular immunomodulating herb, or mushroom, I should say. And so
I think they found that one in an area where radiation had leaked and it was thriving.
Yeah, mushrooms actually are here to save the planet. They're our ancestors. We got the whole idea of a brain from them. Mushrooms are the brain of nature and actually send hormone signals. All plants send pheromones. There's plant pheromones. Everything you know about the human body can be turned inside out to the ecology, right? That's how we got that pattern. We were built out of plants to carry their seeds around and plant them, you know? Some Thomas Edison of microbes was like, one day we will build a human and they will carry us around and they will spread us further than you can ever imagine. And we're like, you're crazy. And now here we are, right? And so every time you shake hands, you're sharing microbes. And the problem is that we're getting into the phobia of that. And it's causing antibiotic resistant microbes, which are going to be worse for us in the long runs. So I'd rather shake your hand 10 minutes after you sneeze and sterilize my digestive tract and not be able to absorb any minerals and vitamins until I get Crohn's disease. Those are the two options, right? Sneezing is not that bad, right? I don't need a germ thing. And what we need is more exposure in a systematic way, right? So y'all are van dwellers. I'm sure you haven't washed your fork as much as you thought you would do, or whatever it is. And all that ends up inoculating your body. So would I rather have, you know, that fork, or would I rather get sterilized? And that's what it's going to come down to, you know? And the fear and the paranoia about germophobia is just going to get so hyped that basically the goal will be to gaslight anybody who questions sterilization and just like, oh, come on, you should wear a tinfoil hat for asking a question. And it's like, no, that's the scientific method. All science submits their research for peer review, and peer review hammers the shit out of them and says, what about this? What about this? There's an inconsistency here. There's an inconsistency here. So ask your questions to your doctor. You're allowed to. And if they gaslight you, be like, you're gaslighting me. I know what this is. This is a new phenomenon that we all learned about, right? That means making you feel crazy and stupid for what you're asking.
And then what do you do if they do that?
Choose another doctor or go lick a.
Choose another
go,
doctor.
Yeah.
go lick.
Don't go to them.
So more of the story, don't be so worried about the germs in any of your forks.
And know how to treat basic infections. You know, like people get systemic staph infections because they look at their cut and watch it become staph. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen overnight. And if you're doing things, like most of the lack of healing and the statistics that we have in this country are due to doing nothing herbally. Nothing. And I'm not talking oregano oil and echinacea. I'm talking about drinking herbal teas. Every time we drink coffee, it's weird, right? We had pine needle tea coffee this morning, right? That's just another bit of bathing ourselves with vitamin C and other nutrients.
But you're saying coffee's bad for us?
I'm saying that coffee is a medium for dosing. So when you're traveling, you put a sprig of creosote in there one time, or you put some pine needles in there, or boil some chaga and pour that in your French press. Put peppermint in there. The end.
So you can mix other herbs in with your coffee.
Yes,
Make coffee
it's a medium.
make special coffee blends.
Do you have cards?
Yeah, I don't know where the.
Maybe you can make your own coffee
Oh,
blends
they're
and
right
sell
there.
them. Who knows?
Right on the water, right on your water jug. Yeah.
Maybe somebody else would.
Thanks. I see that it's
We're
really
headed
a
out.
good session,
Yeah,
but I have to.
yeah, it's time to move.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Well, thank you guys so much. Everybody, please like, subscribe, and share. Look up for this guy on his Instagram, and I really appreciate you and your wealth of knowledge. Again, this is his card if you guys are interested. And if anybody wants to see the video, it's Eric the Goat Guy on YouTube. Eric the Goat Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share.